In this video, we're looking at Invest 97L in the Eastern Atlantic, which could become our next named tropical storm and could bring potential impacts to the Caribbean. Let's get right into the video. You can see we're looking at the National Hurricane Center outlook for the next week, and we have two disturbances. One yellow, which is expected to not form and it's heading out to sea, while we have Invest 97L down here in the red, and this has a 90% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. So a very high chance this becomes our next named tropical storm, which would be Erin. The NHC says showers and thunderstorms continue to show signs of organization in association with a well-defined low-pressure area located about 100 miles east of the Cabo Verde Islands. And only a small increase in the organization could lead to the formation of a tropical depression before the low moves near or across the Cabo Verde Islands tonight and on Monday. Regardless of development, locally heavy rainfall and gusty winds are possible today and Monday across the Cabo Verde Islands. Even if a tropical depression does not form over the next day or so, environmental conditions appear very conducive for later development, and a tropical depression or storm is likely to form by the middle to latter portion of this week, while moving west-northwestward at 15 to 20 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. And looking at satellite imagery, it is not looking that organized here on infrared. We do have a big time convection blow up over the Cabo Verde Islands just as I'm making this video. But overall, not a ton of convection going on. You definitely see the spin in there with the low pressure system, but obviously this could definitely become a tropical depression within the next 24 to 48 hours, as it is starting to look a little more organized here on satellite imagery. Now, looking at the GFS model from the 12Z run, we're going to look at a couple more than this. This is not the only model we're going to be looking at, but the GFS very clearly has that low pressure of the Cabo Verde Islands right now. And as we move forward, this is going to organize quickly across the central Atlantic. Those isobars getting tighter, so that means it's getting stronger. And I'm expecting by Wednesday we could have that tropical depression or even the tropical storm across the central Atlantic. This move continues to move westward over this week, and we get to about Friday, and this is when it strengthens even more. Again, we have that favorable environment for tropical storms and hurricanes right now across the Atlantic, so this really should not have a problem at all, besides maybe a little bit of shear along the way. GFS has this going north north of the Caribbean, as a lot of the other models do as of right now, and the GFS has it strengthening into a very strong hurricane in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Heads north, and this model has it showing just east of Bermuda, to where it will only really bring a rip current risk to Bermuda, but that's about it according to this model. This next model kind of worries me for the United States here. This is the European model. And a lot of people love the European model because it's been reliable and doesn't really overhype things. But here's the European model, so it pretty much does the same thing going on as the GFS so far, about a tropical storm to potential Cat 1 hurricane here in the middle of the Atlantic around Friday or so. And then we get to about here, and this is where Bermuda is. This has more south than the GFS model, so getting closer to the Caribbean, and this is going to be Friday afternoon. And it has this storm, this hurricane, just north of the Lesser Antilles. As we move forward towards Saturday, this does not have it going north at all at the end of this model. So this is the furthest we can go with the European model, is the start of Saturday. And I'm not really seeing any much northern movement at all from this model, and this has it strengthening as we go further with time. So the Euro model has this as a potential threat to the United States, potentially for next week. The CMC model kind of leaves off where the Euro did, except the CMC does go further than the Euro. So the CMC has it going much more northward, impacting Bermuda and potentially bringing impacts to the New England area as a strong tropical storm. But this is definitely pretty uncomfortable for the East Coast, seeing these models come in for this potential hurricane for next week. And here's Invest 97L model intensity guidance. A lot of these models have it becoming a tropical storm. around the 48-hour mark, strengthening as it goes on, reaching a Cat 1 around hour 84. So a lot of these models have it becoming a hurricane by around Thursday, Friday. And some of these even go further into category 2 hurricane. A few are in Cat 3, one it goes skyrockets all the way to Cat 4 by hour 132. But definitely, this is very likely becoming our next named tropical storm, which will be Erin. And look at some of these spaghetti models. You guys might be familiar with this, but it's all these different ensembles. For this one, this is ensembles. So it's one model, but different ensembles showing all the potential tracks. This has it much more southern for the GEPS tracks, and you see a lot of ensembles that kind of go into the right near the Bahamas. Also quite a few ensembles going out to sea right near Bermuda there. That main black line, which is the agreeing line as of right now, has it making a very close call to the Lesser Antilles as a strong tropical storm. But again, this is these ensembles are very near to Florida, so Florida's gonna have to keep a close eye on this. The Bahamas and the entire Caribbean should be keeping a close eye on Invest 97L, and I should have daily videos uploading for this as well. Here's Invest 97L GEFS tracks. This has it covering northward a lot sooner, with only some that go a little more westward, but all these are covering north for the GEFS tracks. So this model shows it kind of as a fish storm, really not much impacts to the Caribbean at all. And then here's model track guidance, which doesn't go that far in, but a lot of these do have it curving northward as well. If you do notice, there's a couple here that do go more eastward. This one is specifically at HFA. This continues westward. So again, Caribbean, Florida, East Coast should be keeping a close eye on Invest 97L. I'll have daily uploading, giving you the latest updates on this storm. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that like button. Leave a comment down below with any questions, especially if this is a potential threat to you, United States or the Caribbean. I'll be sure to answer those questions down below. And share this with anyone that wants the latest information on Invest 97L becoming our next named tropical storm, Erin. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.